It's the ultimate mechanic's revenge when an unhappy customer refused to pay for a new muffler. He went around with the boys, ripped it out of the car and took it back.
Thugs, really, sort of standover men. You see what they're doing? Got my car jacked up and they're taking the exhaust.
This is total lies. You are...
Mate, when you were taking...
The muffler man and his colourful way of dealing with one troublesome customer.
Hey, buddy. Have a good afternoon. Pay your bills next time, mate. Instead of being a dodgy house, see ya.
Do you not agree, though, Craig, that it was probably a bit heavy-handed to send 4 blokes around? He probably could have bought the car in just because he is a customer at the end of the day.
Well, he's not a customer. Customers pay.
Well, he did pay you, but he wasn't happy with the work.
He came in, gave us this massive story about how he
not
wanted
a massive story.
It was a massive story. There's more stories that I don't think you could lie straight in bed.
Partially deaf pensioner Craig Palmer watches and films from a friend's flat.
Hey, you should call the cops for me.
4 of them turn up and I think their truck was parked about here.
About up here, yeah.
Okay. So why didn't you come down and confront them?
Oh, well, they're 4 young, fit blokes versus one old pensioner, you know. Yeah. And they'd already been abusing me.
Look, we just want to know why you turned up unannounced to his house to take back...
It wasn't unannounced. We rang one of our guys went around there, told Craig it was coming off. Craig said we were allowed to take it off, so we went there.
Did you say we was allowed to take it off?
No, never gave permission.
A dispute over the quality of the $400 work replacing a muffler had been raging on for nearly a week.
When I got home, of course, the first thing you do is check, see what sort of a job you got done. So when I noticed that the whole thing was not following the channel how it should underneath the car where the exhaust should be tucked up. And it was indeed sort of hanging down very low and it like scraped over gutters or whatever driveways and things when I'd come in.
Mr Palmer responded by cancelling payment for the work.
I rang up the bank and stopped the cheque until I'd had the work fixed up and then I would just pay them cash. I never heard from them the whole week and then on the Friday they rang up and with his abusive phone calls.
And he says before he knew it, 4 blokes turned up in a work ute with a plan to solve the problem. Within 15 minutes the exhaust is stripped from Mr Palmer's car. That's Craig Miller, the manager of Coastal Exhaust and Mechanical in Coffs Harbour, with his hands on the muffler. He says it was all done with Mr Palmer's authority. So this is how they thank their former customer on the way out.
Hey, buddy. Have a good afternoon. Pay your bills next time, mate. Instead of being a dodgy house, see ya.
Do you apologise, though, for the bloke who yelled out and called him a houso? He called him a houso.
It was you.
And it's on tape.
That's fine. I know it's on tape. We saw him at the front door.
Yeah, but why would someone yell out at a customer that you're having a blue with? That sort of language.
You don't know. And say, you should see the emails that this guy has been sending to my secretary.
Right.
It is ridiculous.
Can you forward me those emails?
Of course I can.
So far, we haven't been shown the emails. But what we do know is that this dispute between manager and customer got well out of hand.
Did you have a go at him on the phone? Hell yes, I had a go at him. He was just sitting there laughing at us.
I've got to say, this is not like the usual complaints that Fair Trading gets about motor repairers. I would say it's one of the more extraordinary issues of conduct that we've come across. So yes, this is certainly out of the norm.
New South Wales Fair Trading Commissioner Rod Stowe says there are less heated ways for mechanics and customers to resolve disputes.
It's disappointing because Fair Trading does offer a dispute resolution service, and I would have hoped that one of the parties would have come to Fair Trading. We've got trained inspectors who can go out and negotiate, and more often than not they are successful in getting an outcome that's acceptable to both parties.
Mr Stowe says Fair Trading will be looking into Mr Palmer's case.
Any evidence in a dispute is really important, and that allows the regulator to form a view in terms of the conduct of the licensee.
Just to give you an idea of their workmanship, here's one of the original tiles, Celastic, then covered over. They're supposed to replace all these tiles.
Now, it's not the first time we've seen a dispute over workmanship lead to an ugly clash. A few years ago, Perth couple Derek and Janet Bennett found their house left in ruins by a couple of tradies.
On their original job, where they did their pointing, all the original stuff just left on the roof and then painted over. When the wind blows it all off, you've got orange spots on the roof. So yeah, that's why we didn't pay him in the first place. The job was just substandard.
The $6,000 job was so substandard they refused to pay brothers David and Ben Carson. They returned to the construction site and ripped out what they could.
All we did is we took our gutters back off the roof and we took the amount of tiles that we put on there.
And as for Mr Palmer and his dispute with the muffler man, well, you can pretty much guarantee this pair won't be doing business again.
You told us we could go and pick it up.
I never told you to pick anything up.
If you have a story you think we should investigate, give us a call or send us an email.